strap yourself in for Keeping It Real with Jack and Raoul.
Welcome back to another episode of Keeping It Real with Jack and Raoul.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you, Raoul?
You know, we haven't said I'm Gabrielle Dolan and you're Jack Phillips for a while.
Thank you.
We don't need to say that because I reckon people know we're at it.
I think they do.
Before we get in, we should shout out to our lovely partners, Liam and the team at Wild Duck Creek Estate.
We love Wild Duck Creek Estate. Awesome, awesome vineyard. If you haven't ordered any wine, then you should.
You should. I had their spring flat Shiraz.
Oh,
I love that.
That's a
nice.
good job.
That's a good. The Shiraz is good.
Really good. Do you remember the year? Was it early
no, I
2020s? Yeah. There's been a couple of very, very good years. I've only ever really drank their reds because I think they do some of the best reds in the world. In fact, I was at Dunkeld the other night. I had a very, very special dinner, like one of those, 3,000 courses.
Dunkeld's a
place.
local-ish restaurant, isn't it?
Dunkeld is a place. The Royal Mail is the pub, and there is an awesome restaurant there called Wickens, which I had a great pleasure in dining at, thanks to Bernadette and Mick. We were celebrating a special birthday.
Who are not sponsors, so stop talking
No,
about
they're
it.
not sponsors. But my point was, we had a degustation and we had matched French wines, and every wine I tasted, I was sort of comparing to what I'm drinking a bit of these days and have been for some years. Wild Duck Creek Estate, gosh, it's good. I mean, we paid a lot of money for this experience the other night, and I don't think the wines were better. In fact, I know they weren't, in my opinion, for my palate. I'm drinking the White Duck. It is awesome. So, again, red wine has been their thing, but they do a White Duck, and it is a Roussanne, a Marsanne, a Grenache Blanc, Vaugnier. How did that sound?
I don't know, it sounded like you knew what you were talking about.
I like a Chardonnay when I drink a white, and this is a beautiful 2023 White Duck. So, that's my my choice at the moment.
So a white duck, like yourself, drinking a white duck.
Oh, listen to it. Old duck.
Old duck, yeah.
Hey, let's talk about this episode. It is a good one. Bored with busy.
Because we are so bored with busy.
Well,
you know what I bloody does my head in, and I know I'm guilty of this myself sometimes. When you go, how are you? And people just go, busy.
Yeah.
When did busy
Boring.
become the bloody default?
Well, it's not a feeling, right?
No. So when people, how are you?
Yeah. Busy?
Busy?
Yeah, but who cares? Everyone's busy,
Yeah.
right? It's just not unique to anybody, and no one has the monopoly on busy.
No, but we sort of feel like I think people walk around like it's a bloody badge of honour being busy.
Agree.
Like I reckon you should go, how are you? Yeah, I'm pretty bored actually at the moment. I'm loving it.
I'd be so
Bored and
impressed.
loving it.
If you said that, I would be so impressed.
Well, you know what people often say to me?
pretty bored.
How are you? Busy? And
Yeah.
I go, no, not really.
No.
Sometimes I go a good busy, but I think, I don't know, we need to come up with another name. Sometimes I go, no, I'm quite full.
Full of what? Shit. Full of Wild Duck Creek Estate?
Yeah, that's better. Energised.
Oh, I like energised.
I'm energised.
How are you? I'm energised.
I'm happy. I'm,
I've got a better one.
yeah.
Keeping it real.
Oh, that's good. How are you? I'm
Keeping it real.
With Jack and Raoul.
Let's replace busy with keeping it real.
Yeah, I like that.
I love it.
Well, there's a change. You know, I was in a cafe, this was a while ago, and I'm sitting down. I was waiting for someone, so I'm just sitting there by myself. And these two guys sort of walked in. They clearly were meeting at the cafe.
Yeah.
So I think one had already sat down and then the other one came in. So they got up, greeted each other. The first thing one of the guys said to the other guy went, how are you, busy? And the other one went, not yet, but he sort of said, but I'm getting there. And I'm sitting there going, like,
It's a badge of honour.
Like that is your desire to be busy. Now, I think he might have been like, as the conversation went on, it was like, he ran his business and I think he was trying to get more customers. So I can sort of see where he's coming. But he said it like he was really disappointed that he wasn't busy. It was almost like he was reluctantly admitting to this other person that he wasn't busy.
You know what I love about that story, Raoul?
What?
You were active listening.
I am. No,
Somebody else's conversation.
I was
you don't listen to
eavesdropping.
me.
I was eavesdropping.
But it's a great point. Hey, can I tell you about a bit of research? I like a bit of research.
You do love research.
Research suggests an individual's perceived level of busyness is heavily connected to their feelings of self-worth as well as to how others might view their status. So in other words, if you're not saying you're busy, then people may think that you're a bit of a loser.
Yeah.
What bullshit. Yeah?
Yeah.
So individuals who have always been busy by choice tend to feel needed. They tend to feel in demand and important, elevating their feelings about themselves. People that are busy are needy. There, I've said it.
All right, that's bloody hell. That's harsh.
Well-
settle down. But you could, you know
Isn't
what?
that
Also,
interesting?
too, when you were saying then, like people to self-worth, something other people often say too, similar to busy is stressed.
Yes, I'm
I'm
stressed.
so stressed. I've got
Yeah,
so much work.
on.
I'm so busy. I'm working 12 hours a day, and I just look at those people and go, well, who is the fool?
Yeah, exactly right. So individuals who are always busy or stressed by choice tend to feel needed, in demand and important. Again, if you are using those words, there's a good chance that you want others to think of you as better than you actually think of yourself. That's really sad.
Yeah.
Really
It
sad.
is a bit sad.
So next time somebody says, how are you, before you say busy, you will say,
Keeping it real.
I love that.
Keeping it real. That's good. One of my friend, colleague, her name's Donna McGeorge. I think you know Donna.
Yeah.
In fact, Donna introduced me to Liam, who
Wild Duck Creek.
Wild Duck Creek Estate. So
Get
like
out.
That's 1 degree of
long
separation.
ago?
It was about 10 years ago. About 10 years ago. So, but Donna is she's written amazing books around productivity, and one of the things she talks about is give yourself permission to do nothing.
oh, I love that.
And that's important because when you're doing nothing and you're, let's just say even the word bored, but that's when you can be really creative.
That's when you can ideate. That's when you can come up with solutions to
Yes.
things. You have more clarity when you've actually got some downtime.
Yeah, and
That's
you
why when we often go away on holiday, you come up with
Absolutely.
brilliant ideas.
Yeah, when I go for a run, I come up with brilliant
When I go for a walk
ideas.
around the farm,
Yeah.
you know, off screens, looking at nature.
Yeah.
If I'm not taking photos.
So it's sort of, but when you look at what most people do, they're just in back-to-back
Back
meetings.
meeting. Oh my goodness.
Like-
Tim Duggan, he's an Australian author.
Yeah.
He is awesome. He wrote
Love
Cult
Tim.
Status. So
he
do I.
actually wrote a review for my last book. Tim, well done, Tim. Thank
Only
you.
hang out with the best, Rail. So Tim says, and I think we already know this, but I'm going to say it again because it is totally relevant. Our brains were not designed to attend back-to-back meetings on hours on end. The number of people I speak to when I'm coaching who are overwhelmed, exhausted, burnt out, say to me, my diary is chock-a-block, and I think to myself, so who's in control?
Yeah. It is.
You are not saving lives, trust me. I wish you were, but you're not. Why are you in back-to-back meetings?
And
Why
it's
do you
such
have no
the
room?
norm. It is
Yeah.
like literally the norm.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a job where clearly I'm not going back-to-back meetings because I work
We
for
wouldn't
myself.
be so silly to
No.
do that.
I remember though it was about, I don't know, a month or so ago. And I remember I was meant to call you at about 5 o'clock.
Yes. You
And
went golfing, didn't you,
we
instead?
were up at Bermagui, so that's our holiday property. So I try not to do much work when I'm there. And so instead of having a meeting like every day, I do go, all right, well, I'm going to have meetings and I'm going to have Wednesday or something, right?
Yeah.
So I actually had 4 meetings in this day.
Right.
4, not 8 or
No.
10, but 4 meetings.
Which is a lot for you.
Is a lot for me. And at the end, I was bloody exhausted. And I remember it was like you said, give me a call about 5. And I finished my meeting and it was 5 o'clock and, my mate Wendy had started the campfire out the back.
Opened a bottle of Wild Duck Creek Estate.
Had literally opened a bottle of wine and I just texted you and said, Jack, I can't do it. I can't talk to you. I did think, I was sitting there with the fire, with my wine, thinking, imagine, like I had 4 meetings
Yeah.
and I felt exhausted. Imagine, I reckon most people would probably have 6 to 8 meetings.
So how many of those are they really productive
Yeah,
in?
and every day, 5
Yeah.
days a week.
Oh, it's just
It was like,
sounds
and then
like kill me
where
now.
do you do your other work?
Yeah. Well, outside of those hours. So
Yes.
which is why
Why everyone's so bloody busy
or stressed.
or stressed.
Yes, they should be keeping it real by taking control of their diary
Yeah,
and
and that's-
saying, no, I'm not going to go into back-to-backs. That's not a great use of my time.
Yeah.
You actually won't get the best out of me.
Yeah, and also too, like there's some, and again, our mate Donna McGeorge talks about this.
Maybe we
like
could put her books in the show notes.
we could put her books in the show notes. 25-minute meetings. That's one of her books.
Yeah.
Why does every meeting have to go
be
for
an
an
hour.
hour?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
and then you've literally got no time. You haven't even got bloody time to go to the toilet.
No. Well, what about no meeting? How about an email instead
Yeah.
or a phone call?
Yeah,
you
we've
know?
all
or trying
been
to figure
to,
something out without it actually having to
Yeah.
be a meeting.
How many
So,
meetings
yeah,
have you gone
agree.
to? You go, that's another meeting that should have
Agree.
been an email.
Agree. Okay.
Look, Django's
so
come in and he's
come over.
like
he's
he's
bored.
whining because
he's
there's all
bored.
this talk of oh look at that whining, all this talk of meetings. He's going, what is this meeting
Yeah,
thing you
sit
talk
down,
about?
Django. Sit down on my foot.
Dogs
So
are good at being bored.
They're very good at being bored. He can sleep all day. He doesn't have any meetings.
Yeah, imagine what's going on
There's
in
a
their
morning
head.
meeting over breakfast, and then there's an evening meeting over dinner. Other than that, we just hang out and hang out.
There's been a thing going around. I've seen it on like Instagram or Facebook about it. Your life calendar. So it's like if you think you've got, well, I don't know. Let's just say you got 100. I think it's on 100. If you live to 100 weeks,
Wow.
like you literally cross off each week, and then or weekends and stuff,
Right.
and then you look at it and you go, "Gee, I haven't got many weeks left," and like.
What am I doing?
What am I doing?
That's really interesting.
With that time I've got.
I did some research, and the average human who lives to around 76.
Is that the average age?
Well, probably for men. I think women live to about 80. But the average human who lives to around 76 has only 4,000 weeks.
Shit.
So someone your age, Raoul, you've probably only got just over 1,000 weeks left.
1,000 weeks.
You don't
left.
want to be in back-to-back meetings. You don't want to be
No, that's why
busy.
That's why I'm not doing that.
So somebody else I was talking to just recently when we were coaching, and they're always busy, they're often stressed, they're in back-to-back meetings. And I said, be really careful how you measure success because work is just one component of your life. I've said this before, but I just want to reinstate it, yeah? If you are measuring your self-worth, by how busy or stressed you are because you're in all these back-to-back meetings or you just have no time for anything else, then that is just one component of your life. They say your most important work is that which is aligned with your personally meaningful goals.
That's
Personally meaningful goals.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I've got goals that are well and truly outside and above work. They involve travel,
yeah,
family time celebrations, new learning and development.
absolutely.
It's not all about work.
I've sort of got this plan that you should always have 2 holidays planned.
A month?
No. Like the next 2 holidays you're
Yep.
going to go on,
Yep.
and I often
love
look at
that.
conferences that are on around the world.
Combined
And
with the work.
even just I've just come back from New York a few weeks ago, and I said to Steve, so I've got a conference in South Africa, November 25. In for that? He goes, yeah, we haven't been to South Africa. I go, no. And I go, London 2026 in May. He goes, are the Ashes on?
Yeah,
It's like,
you two and your
we
cricket.
actually looked at the Ashes are on the following year. But it's sort of going, okay, so you've only got a certain amount of time left.
What are you going to...
And are you taking control of that, or are you literally spending it all being busy doing stuff that, maybe you don't want to do or you don't need to do, or it's not your life purpose?
meaningful goals.
Someone told me that someone did this to them. So you get a stick. So just go find a stick, right?
Yep, plenty around here at the farm.
There's lots of sticks around here. I'm sitting next to an old stick.
You and your bloody old.
Look at my funny jokes. Anyway, you get a stick, and that stick represents your life. So it doesn't matter how long it is, but you got a stick.
It's not a fat stick, is it?
No, it's a little stick because you got to break it. So you break off the stick of where you think your life's
Going to
so,
end.
let's say you're going to live to 100 or 90. Do it.
Yep.
And if you're 50, then you're breaking it in half. And then you sort of go, well, I live to 100, probably 90, 85.
Not sure how active I'm gonna be.
I'm not going to be doing. So maybe break that off a bit because, and then look at that stick and go, okay, that's it. That's what you got. That's what you're playing
lot of
with.
time.
You
like
want
us,
to
1,000
spend
weeks.
it? You want to spend it in meetings, or
No,
you want to
with
be
people
doing,
you love and who make you
good
laugh.
stuff?
Drinking good wine.
Yeah. How many subtle plugs are we going to do this episode?
Well, it's not hard. I've
No,
been
it's not hard.
plugging
It's not-
wine
so
right from the start.
busy is not productive.
No, it's boring. And if you're busy, chances are, and you keep telling everyone you're busy, you're needy, actually.
Yeah.
You should be keeping it real instead.
Yeah.
Hey, what about some tips and techniques? Because I think we've got a few.
Yeah, well, one of the things, and this always comes back, we talked about the
Reframe. I
back-to-back
like that.
meetings,
I like the
back-to-back
reframe.
meetings. delegate. Like,
Yes.
do you seriously have to be doing that? This goes back to almost the episode we did last week. It was about know your value. And I always go, is this the best use of your time?
What is the opportunity cost?
You know, that story you shared about, you know, this person taking on admin, it was like, is that the best use of your time?
She was super smart.
Yeah, so
much better things.
if you do look at your calendar and you are in back-to-back meetings, first of all, do you have to be there? And if you do, I've got to be there because I've got to update on whatever. Does it have to be you?
Correct.
Like delegate to someone in your team.
Delegate. Well, when you go away, you delegate, right?
Yes.
You go on holiday, so you know the place doesn't fall over. It's amazing how things go on.
No, and when I think about it, it's pretty stupid just to delegate when you go on leave because you're not actually there to support them.
No, so you're better off to delegate when you're around.
Yeah. And
but again, it comes back to this needy thing. So I have to be in the meeting. Do you? Do you really need to be in the meeting?
Yeah.
Are you a bit needy, or is that not a development opportunity for somebody else in your team?
I'm a very big believer on delegate to develop.
Yep, agree.
It could be because I'm lazy and I like giving, but no, as a leader,
Well,
you
they say
should
some of the
delegate
most-
to develop.
Some of the most productive people are lazy because they think of ways of how they can actually have more downtime.
Yes.
And so they delegate or they do a calendar audit. Another tip.
Yeah, that is like seriously, that's a great one.
I learnt last night, I was reading the Fin Review, having a glass of wine by the fire last night, very chilly here at the farm. And I was reading my Fin Review, my Friday Fin Review, and there was a great interview with a CEO of a very successful company. And he said he's discovered a new piece of functionality on Microsoft Office and it's called Focus Time. And I'm yet to find it, but I will have a look at it. And you can actually just put in all this focus time to break up your calendar. And people cannot put anything in over the top of it.
Yeah.
Only you can change that.
You've got it. I mean, you said it before.
Take control.
Take control of your calendar. And if you're in a position where other people fill your calendar with meetings, like put in stuff like that.
That's
Focus
right.
time.
So they can't.
Call it whatever you like.
Yeah.
I know, we've said this before. I put in gym runs, whatever.
Yeah.
So my at least my executive manager doesn't fill meetings in that. So
Well done. I worked for an awesome CEO years ago and he was a yes person. He wanted to be in everything, very, very productive, very, very successful. Everyone wanted a piece of him. His EA took control. And she would create breaks and say, no, he's not available. And he'd say, I can do that. And she'd say, no, you haven't been for a walk. You haven't sat or you haven't called some family. She was amazing. And I remember thinking everyone needs an EA like that if you are the type of leader that is needy and that is a yes person.
Yeah. And look, and sometimes it is, people might be going, oh, I'm not needy. I just, I like to help out and stuff. But
Scratch the surface.
It's again, is that the best value?
That's
is
right.
it the best
How are you
use of
measuring
your
success?
time, your value? And that's like take control of
The
your
other thing is to
diary.
prioritize, right? So we were talking about meaningful personal goals, right? So prioritize what really does matter in your life and what matters at work. Not everything needs to be done today or this week. There are so many things that could either be delegated or put off or put out. So prioritization, make a not to-do list. Have you heard of this one?
No, what's a not to do
So
list?
people and things that drain your energy. Note what doesn't deserve your attention but fills your schedule yet isn't a priority.
Yeah, that's a
A
good
not
one
to-do
because
list. What
often
won't I
when
do?
you look at the stuff that's you've got to do, do you really have to do it?
Exactly right.
Do you really have to do it? I love the scheduled downtime.
Yeah,
So
very
that's part of taking control of your diary.
Mm.
We've spoken about this before. The first thing I do, if you look at my diary years out, school holidays are all blocked out. No meetings before 11, holidays. So literally if we've decided like wherever we're going, they're blocked out.
blocked out.
So it's really taking control of
So
it.
delegation I like, calendar audit I like, scheduling your downtime, perhaps create a not to-do list and prioritise what it is that you actually want to be successful and known for. And chances are it isn't a 5-day-a-week or 7-day-a-week busy diary.
Yeah. So
All right.
I think that's good. I think let's finish that up so we don't get too busy for the rest of the
I think
thing.
you're right. So instead of saying, how are you? I'm busy.
We're going to say with keeping it real.
I love that.
Like everyone do it. Just that's the dare. That's the dare,
And
keepers.
tell us if you do it.
All this week, every time someone says, how are you? Say, I'm
Stop
keeping it
yourself
real.
from
I'm
being-
keeping it real.
saying busy.
Now, keepers, just a reminder, if you have not taken advantage of the very generous offer from Liam and the team at Wild Duck Creek Estate, get onto their website, you'll see the keeping it real thing, the tab up the top right-hand corner.
Correct.
Put in the password keepers. It'll take you to some really good deals. And we should say these are really good deals because what we love about this brand, they don't discount.
No.
Like you will not find them at
this is
Dan
premium.
Murphy's.
No.
They don't
This is premium
discount.
wine.
They don't do
They
any
don't have to.
marketing because it's all word of mouth.
They have members. So we've got keepers.
Yeah.
Wild Duck Creek Estate have members.
Yeah.
So our keepers will become members if they take advantage of the offer. And then you get updates on new releases.
Yeah.
You get invited to the winery. It's so cool.
We could do a show at the winery.
Don't. That could be very dangerous.
Okay, keepers. Don't be busy, just be keeping it real. Remember to give us a review. And again, the best thing you can do, the greatest support you can give us is to share this with your network. So if you find it of value, share it with others that you think will find it of value.
And buy some Wild Duck Creek Estate wine.
Absolutely. See you later.
Bye.
You've been listening to another episode of Keeping It Real with Jack and Rahl. If you like what you've heard, don't forget to tell others about it and give a 5-star review. They may seem confident, but they really are sensitive 5-star needy souls. Yeah, right. Keeping It Real, created by Jack Phillips and Gabriel Dolan. Produced by Keelan Ferrari Brown. And this really real voiceover, spoken by Richard Phillips.